Hey everyone, welcome to episode 5. Today I'm going to take you through a little bit of a beginner's guide to getting into stocks. So first of all, covering off how do I find a stock, then how to tell if they're any good. Then I'll cover off what different types of investors there are out there. And I've also pulled together a Google Doc with loads of great links in, which you can find in the comments section and will be available in all my future videos. Then once you've invested, we'll be looking at how do I keep up to date with my stocks and any news that's going on around them. And then the final point that we'll cover off is if you do go for a dividend stock, how do you get notification of any payments that will be coming your way? As with all my future videos, I'll be putting key points in the video in the comments section, so you can click through and jump to whichever bits you find add most value to you. So first up, let's just jump straight into the Google Doc, just so you can see exactly what's available for you to use. So here we are in the Google Doc, and you can see here, I've put name, a link, whether it's free or premium, category, and what is it useful for. As it stands today, we've got 40 different line items in there. And in terms of categories, we've got basic research, we've got dividend notifications, general information, news, stock screeners, trend analysis, trading techniques, loads of different things. And I'll be updating this continuously as I progress and develop the channel. Just to get started, as I opened up with, let's look at stock screening. This is a great way to find new and interesting stocks. And my preference here is to use Simply Wall Street, but I will take you through the other stock screeners as well, just to give you a bit of an idea and hopefully to uncover some really brilliant gems that you can share with the rest of our community. So if you're on Simply Wall Street and you click on Discover, it will come up with some preset ideas that you can go and look at. So for example, forecasting high growth, we'll click on that. And it's currently set to the UK market because that's where I'm based. But if you wanted to change it, all you have to do is click here, scroll up, click United States. It will then pull up companies that are forecasting high growth in the United States. And you can do that for any single country that's listed on here. Alternatively, what I like to do is click on the screener section. And when you're in here, you can save screeners. You can also do your own. So you can look at, if for example, you want to go a really good future, but you want to make sure they've got the financial health right now to survive and ultimately deliver on that future, then it'll start picking up companies that Simply Wall Street, based on your parameters, will think be interesting to you. Further to this, you can also go add a market. So if you're only really interested in the United Kingdom market, then you click on these two and it'll update results and it'll give you some companies to look at. So for example here, I've never heard of S4 Capital, IQ Geo or Frenkel Topping Group. I have heard of Boohoo. And what you might choose to do in your own time is just review Boohoo Group and see exactly whether you think that their future is as good as it's saying here, or their health is as financially sound as Simply Wall Street are saying. So if, for example, we wanted to look at the financial health here and just check it out, all we do is click on it and it takes us straight down to it. Now doing a quick scroll through, you get down here and you can see there's no debt, and that's a fantastic starting point. It says it here as well, debt free. It said it had no debt 5 years ago. So actually you'd probably be investing in a pretty sensible and safe company here with good growth prospects, so quite a nice stock to find straight away. However, there are alternatives available other than Simply Wall Street. So on this screen, it's the Yahoo Finance Stock Screener. It's currently set as a default to United States. If you just click on the small cap, just because we're interested in some penny stocks today, and then add in an energy sector because we think that's going to blow up in the future, and then just go find stocks. So you can see here it's come back with 634 results, which is probably too many to start reading through. So if you're really genuinely interested in finding penny stocks, what you could do then is click on price intraday and it will give you the lowest value share price. So that's just one method of finding stocks on Yahoo Finance Screener. And clearly you can tweak the parameters to find whichever kind of stocks you're looking for and interested in. And once you've found a stock that you might be interested in, so for example, say we're interested in Nicron Technologies here. So once you've clicked on Nicron Technologies, you can go through all these different sections and find out more about the company and see whether you think it's a good investment or not. And if we look since the start of the year, it's trending up nicely. You can also see the volume over here as well. So there's good information on the Yahoo Finance Stock Screener. Well worth checking it out. The final stock screener that I want to share with you today is the TradingView stock screener. There's probably 1,000,001 different stock screeners out there, but these are just the 3 that I've put on my Google Doc. So here we are on TradingView. If you click on screeners and then stock screener, it will bring up loads of different metrics that you won't have seen on Simply Wall Street or on Yahoo Finance. If, for example, you wanted to find a company that's got quite a high market cap, we could scroll that along there. But then equally, a low number of employees, all we do is scroll that back here, and then we're left with 6 companies. Now, as you can see here, only 1 is rated as a buy, so it's probably worth us checking out that. So now we're on the Capital One Finance Corp section. We can scroll down, and it says buy there. And as you'd expect to see, it's got a relatively low number of employees, and if we scroll down to the bottom, revenue per employee is absolutely fantastic. So naturally here, with employees being low and revenue being high, you'd expect to see very strong earnings per share. And as we can see on the right hand side, their earning per share is around $5. So hopefully those stock screeners give you a bit of an idea of how to find companies. But let's move on. So you think you found a gem using a stock screener, but how can you tell if they're actually any good? Well, the first thing to do is hit the subscribe button, because I'll be able to tell you over time if they are any good. But secondly, go into the Google Doc and use all the resources that I've listed out. There's so many in there. And just to give you a few examples, let's pop back over to the Google Doc now, and I'll just pull up a few different mechanisms that you can use to see if a stock is actually any good. So depending on the stock that you've found, you're going to use different tools to justify whether you want to invest in it or not. So for example, a penny stock, what you might do is you might go on Google Maps and see if they've even got a location. For other companies, it might be a case that you want to go on lowfloat.com and see exactly what kind of float they've got and whether the stock can pop fairly quickly with a little bit of volume applied to it. Now those two links alone wouldn't actually satisfy whether a stock is good or not, but you could have a look at the SEC filings as well. Understand their finances, take time to go through it. And if you came back to TradingView, there's loads of metrics on there against each stock. Also things like just going on their website, understanding exactly what products they do. Are their customers satisfied with the products they deliver to them, if that information is publicly available? There's plenty of ways to find out whether a stock is good or not. And ultimately, when investing in stocks, only you can make that decision whether you think it's a good investment or not. You have to do your own research. Don't just go on YouTube, don't just go on Reddit, and don't take people's word for it, because it's your hard-earned money that you're investing. So the third point is different investor types. Now this will have an impact on your portfolio and what it ends up looking like. Some people only invest in hype, and that's totally fine. Others can be more reserved and like longer plays with dividend payouts. Some people want to get in up front and want to be a part of the IPO and just sit on it. Some people like to day trade and get enjoyment out of it, and others simply just like the stock. So let's pop back over now to the Google Doc and pull out a few examples of resources that you could use if we operated on the basis that you were a hype investor. So if you were interested in only investing in hype stocks, what you might do here is you might click on hyperider.com. So here we are on hyperider.com. I've clicked on the Reddit section, and we can see all the subreddits that it's pulling through. If we scroll down here, we can see top 10 stocks in hype over the last 10 days. Now, as you might expect, GameStop and AMC have featured pretty highly on this. So all you need to do here is click on AMC and GameStop and take them out. And then, for example, if you're interested in CTXR, you just highlight it there and you can start to see what's going on with that stock. There was a lot of hype initially around the 20th of Feb. It's died off a little bit, but there is a bit of a kick up again today, so it may be worth checking them out. So further to Hyperider, you could look at StockTwits. You could also look at TradyTix. So we're going to go on to TradyTix now and just show you exactly what that's about. So TradyTix is one of my favourite websites. It's AI-driven trading. And essentially we're on the Twitter chatter here. So at the moment, AMC is trending the highest with 397 mentions. But you don't have to just focus on Twitter. So what we could do here is go on the left-hand side, we go down and we go Wall Street Bets. I wonder what they're going to be talking about the most. Surprise, surprise. GameStop. But if, for example, you are really interested in investing in the next big hype movement, take out the main known stocks, so GameStop, AMC, Palantir, and try and pick out a gem from the ones that are up and coming. You can scroll down and you can see the chart and how they're trending for each individual stock as well. So it's actually quite a useful resource. And further to this, there's loads of other different tools and mechanisms here that you can use to find trending stocks and ride a bit of that hype. So if we now work on the basis that you've found stocks that you really like, and actually you're a long-term investor for this example, how do you keep up to date with what's going on in the market? So you're a long-term investor and you've identified that you really like Airbnb as an investment. First thing I'd recommend you to do is go on the SEC and make sure you subscribe for any SEC updates from that company. Secondly, if you do have Simply Wall Street, you can set up your own portfolio and it will give you a feed through of all the latest information and data that's happening applicable to the companies that you're invested in. And the third point is news. I've listed out a load of resources here that you can go and check in your own time and sign up to, and keep an eye on company data that's coming out that's applicable to your portfolio. So the fourth and final point to bring your attention to here, if you're a long-term investor, could be something like Whale Wisdom. So we'll click on that and go over to Whale Wisdom now and just give you a bit of a breakdown of what that site's about. So here we are on Whale Wisdom. I'm going to type in Airbnb. So that's going to bring up the stock and we're going to go and click on it and go search. So I'm not going to bore you with too much detail in this video. The link's there for you to go and use in your own time. But if you scroll down, you can see exactly who's investing in the company. And something as simple as changing shares is actually really good. This shows positive data and uptrends for Airbnb. All these companies are invested and they're actually increasing their investment. It shows you the size of their investments and what date it was reported. But I'll let you look a little bit further at Whale Wisdom in your own time. It's a brilliant resource and definitely one to use if you want to follow where the money's going. So the final point in this video, which is only intended to be a short one, is if you do own dividend stocks, how do you know what you're going to be getting paid? So if you own a dividend stock, what might be useful for you is Dividend Max. And here we are on the site and it gives you free dividend notifications. So if you click on that, so if for example you're a long-term investor and you own a company like Rolls-Royce, all you do is type in here Rolls-Royce and we can see they pop up. Click on Rolls-Royce and it'll pop up here. Then you need to do is edit shares. So for example, say that you own 5,000 Rolls-Royce shares, you'd save it. You'd then be asked to type in your email address and create a password. and it will send you notifications of when the dividend is confirmed, so you don't have to keep checking in. Now, it's not a massive game changer, but it's quite useful to have that technology working for you. Equally, if you did go back into dividends here, we can see here companies in the United Kingdom that are paying dividends, what they previously paid, what their next dividend might be, and what their ex-dividend date is. I'll make sure that I keep this Google Doc up to date for any subscribers to my channel. And essentially, if you do have any links or resources that might be useful for everyone else, please let me know in the comments section and I can get them added. Equally, if you have any questions about the links that I have talked about today or anything that's on here, please leave them in the comments section as well and I'll get back to you. So far, I'm really enjoying the interaction that I'm getting from everyone, and it's great seeing all the questions being asked. So that was it for today. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't already and you did get something out of the video, please hit that subscribe button. I recently went over 100 subscribers and the next target is 1,000, so together we'll get there. I hope that over time some of these resources that I've shared with you will help to make you money. And that's it for today. So take care, thank you for tuning in, and happy investing for the week ahead.